Hi all. So in this session we will try to understand what is the auto scaling and why it is required, and the infrastructure issues when we trying to provision the instances, and if the instances is not meeting the desired capacity, then user will face the performance issues and it will cause a lot of latency. So first it is required for us to understand the icon of auto scaling. So auto scaling, its icon itself is saying that it is being shrinking down when it is not required, and it is being scale up when the usage are high. So means like there is no any manual effort, automatically it is being scale up and scale down, and it is helping a lot to reduce the cost. So auto scaling is the best feature provided by that most of the cloud service provider. So here we are trying to resolve the problems related to that infrastructure issues, and provisioning the instances as per the requirement and paying the cost based on the usage only, not by having less capacity when in the productions, and if the traffic is very high, or it is underestimated the capacity, or it is overestimated the capacity. So let's jump to the another slide. So auto scaling, the best definition suits to the auto scaling is that you are adding or removing the resources automatically to maintain the availability of your application based on the provided condition. So here you can see like that in this graph there are the multiple conditions when you need the auto scaling in such a way like that there is no performance assist to the user, as well as you are saving the cost by provisioning those instances which are required as per the use basis. So here in the first point you can see that use only what you need. It means that you need to provision the number of instances whatever is required. So when you are deploying your application first time in the production environment, at that time you are taking the number of instances required. That will become like use only what you need. Now after that you are realizing that traffic has been increased for a few moment or for a particular time interval, and for a particular time window frame, then it is being scale up, so you need more instances is this time. But again after that the peak traffic is over and you need to remove those instances because it is not being used, and you have to pay the price for those instances, so it is required you need to do the scale it down. So the auto scaling here is providing a feature that automatically it will predict the traffic, and it will add the instances, and it will balance your traffic performance. And when it needs to be done, it is required to do the elastic scale down, then it will automatically remove those EC2 instances. The fourth condition, when you are knowing that or you are not knowing that traffic is being increased suddenly and it requires a lot of instances, and in these conditions auto scaling will be done and more instances will be added by the auto scaling feature by provided by the cloud service provider, and that will be a fast scale to achieve the massive adding the massive scaling instances. And the fifth is like that you want to be in that conditions where you need that many instances to achieve the massive scaling. It will be done by the cloud service provider, and it will be done by adding the multiple instances by using the auto scaling feature. So in this session, we will discuss about that there are the traditional problems when we do the provision manually to scale up and scale down. So there are the three major problems, like your application is running in the production, and even though if you are knowing that this is the desired capacity and you will not get more traffic, and you have provisioned X number of the instances, but in this condition you can see that there are the shared area where your infrastructure or your instances number of instances are idle because traffic is coming up going up and down. So when it is up, then you are properly utilizing the instances, but when it is going down, then instances will be there in the production and you are going to charge it. So the other thing is like that manually you can decommission it, but again you need to provision it. So there is a it's a difficult job to decommission and provisioning it again. But in case of auto scaling, this major problem is being resolved, and it will automatically get decommissioned and it will automatically get provisioned whenever it is required. In the second condition, you can see that you are under provisioned. The reason is that you are wrongly estimated the capacity, and you are not able to manage the traffic which in the said part where you need the more instances. So in this condition there will be a performance issues, and it may cause the latency. And the third problem is that if you are provisioning more instances, and you are not knowing the exact capacity, in that conditions you are paying the cost of instances which are under provision. So these all problems is resolved by using the AWS auto scaling, where you just pay when it is being used, instead of manually provisioning for the peak and decommissioning when it is not required. Thanks a lot.